Welcome back to Shadow Stories, where darkness lives and nightmares breathe. Tonight we're plunging into the tragic story of a bond tested by a curse, the chilling legend of the werewolf. Imagine this: you're deep in the wilderness, far from anyone or anything that can hear you scream. You came here to escape, but as you lie awake, you sense something unnatural, something lurking in the shadows. You feel it, watching, waiting. Tonight's tale isn't just about a creature that stalks the night. It's about a brother's desperate fight to save the person he loves most, even when that person becomes something he fears. As we unfold this dark story, ask yourself, what would you sacrifice if someone you loved turned into a monster? Stay with us, because by the end, you might find yourself looking over your shoulder the next time you walk through the woods alone. The story begins in a quiet town, nestled at the edge of an ancient forest. Here, two brothers, Evan and Liam, were inseparable. Since they were young, the brothers shared everything: childhood adventures, secrets, and an unbreakable bond. But their lives changed forever, one cold autumn night, when Evan went missing in those very woods. For a year, he was simply gone. His disappearance tore the town apart, but for Liam, it shattered his world. He searched tirelessly, calling his brother's name in the forest, desperately holding on to hope. And then, the whispers began. People spoke of a creature roaming the woods, tall with a hunched frame, eyes like burning coals, and teeth sharp enough to tear flesh. Some called it a werewolf, cursed to live between man and beast. Most dismissed it as folklore. But Liam, deep down, began to wonder if the legends held truth. Could it be his brother? One night, in the dim light of the forest's edge, Liam saw something that changed everything. The forest felt colder, quieter than usual. Liam called out, "Evan? Evan, are you there?" His voice echoed back, swallowed by the thick silence. Hours passed as he combed through the trails, his flashlight casting eerie shadows on the twisted trees. Just when he was about to give up, he heard it. A low, guttural growl that seemed to shake the ground beneath him. Liam turned, his heart pounding, and froze. Standing there, just at the edge of his flashlight beam, was a figure covered in matted fur, with massive, clawed hands and yellow, haunting eyes. But behind those monstrous eyes, there was something he recognized. "Evan?" he whispered, barely able to get the word out. The creature stared back, silent and tense, a tortured expression flashing across its face. It was as if, for a brief moment, Liam's brother was there, struggling to break free from the monster he'd become. But just as quickly as it came, the moment passed. The creature snarled, turned, and disappeared into the darkness. What would you do if someone you loved was trapped in the body of a beast? Could you find a way to save them? Or would you run to survive? Comment below. Liam couldn't shake the image of that monstrous figure, haunted by the possibility that his brother was still alive but cursed, forever trapped within a nightmare. Consumed by desperation, he began researching everything he could find about werewolves, ancient curses, and dark folklore. He read stories of men transformed under the full moon, of spells gone wrong, and tales of silver daggers as the only way to end the curse. As the next full moon approached, Liam returned to the woods, clutching a silver dagger, heart heavy with fear and hope. He wanted to save Evan, but he didn't know if he could end his brother's suffering if that was the only way. The moon hung high and bright as he moved through the forest, branches clawing at him like skeletal fingers. Every snap of a twig, every rustle in the leaves sent his heart racing. After hours of searching, he finally saw it. The creature, looming in a clearing, its back turned, its hunched form silhouetted against the silver moonlight. "Evan?" he called softly, voice trembling. The creature stiffened, and slowly it turned, baring its sharp teeth. But in its fierce, haunted eyes, Liam saw pain, sorrow, and a flicker of something human. "Evan, it's me, your brother," Liam pleaded, holding his ground. The beast growled, torn between the instinct to attack and some hidden part that seemed to remember him. He took a tentative step forward, hand outstretched. "I know you're in there. I don't know what happened, but I promise I'll help you. Please let me try." For a moment it looked like the creature was struggling, fighting something deep within. But then its eyes darkened, and with a vicious snarl, it lunged at him. Liam barely had time to raise the silver dagger as the creature charged, claws slicing through the air. He stumbled back, heart racing, adrenaline surging. They struggled, the beast clawing at him, its hot breath on his face, snarls echoing in his ears. Just when he thought it would end him, Liam managed to break free, dagger poised. "Evan, if you're still in there, I'm sorry," he whispered, tears streaming down his face. The creature paused, trembling as if something in it remembered, understood. And in that fleeting moment of stillness, Liam plunged the silver dagger into its chest. The beast let out a haunting, mournful howl, its body shuddering as it staggered backward. The monstrous form began to shift, fur receding, claws shrinking, until lying there on the cold forest floor was Evan, human once more. His eyes softened, looking up at his brother with a weak, grateful smile. "Thank you," he whispered, voice barely audible. With those final words, Evan took his last breath. Liam collapsed beside him, consumed by grief, his heart shattered, but knowing he'd freed his brother from an unimaginable fate. The town buried Evan in silence, with only Liam and a few others present. But the forest never felt the same. People swore they could hear howling at night, as if the spirit of the werewolf still roamed, guarding the woods from unseen terrors. And every full moon, Liam would return to his brother's grave, his only solace the memory that, in the end, he had saved his brother from a lifetime of darkness. Thank you for joining us on Shadow Stories. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you enjoyed tonight's tale, and share it with anyone who loves a good scare. What would you have done in Liam's place? Could you end a curse, even if it meant saying goodbye? Let us know in the comments below. Stay tuned for our next story, where even darker mysteries wait to be uncovered. Remember, the shadows are always watching, and sometimes they're closer than you think.